Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about two major types of search engine optimization, or SEO. This is on-page SEO and off-page SEO. But first, I'll tell you that there are actually three types of SEO. There's technical SEO, on-page SEO, and off-page SEO. We're not going to dive into technical SEO today because it's a really broad topic that would require a whole other video. But don't worry, if you want to learn more about technical SEO, just drop a comment saying technical SEO and we'll create a full video on it. For now, let's focus on-page and off-page SEO. So, on-page SEO involves elements that you can control directly on your website. There are 10 elements that make up on-page SEO. So let's break them down together. Down here we have off-page SEO. There are about 6 different aspects here. To begin, we'll talk about keywords. When we're talking about keywords, there are two major types. Primary keywords are the core topics of your page. For example, if you're writing about lead generation companies in Maryland, the primary keyword could be lead generation company in Maryland. Secondary keywords. So these are variations or related terms that are related to the primary keyword. For example, best lead generation company in Maryland, top lead generation company in Maryland, or how to search for lead generation companies in Maryland. When we take a look over here on this tab, you'll see in the slug, that's where we have the keyword. That's where you know what the blog will be about. It's important to have your primary or secondary keywords in your title, as this is what tells Google and your readers what your blog will be about. So, how do we use these keywords in our content? That is a great question. Once you've got the primary and secondary keyword, it's hard to know how often should you use them in your content. This is known as keyword density. Let's say you're writing a detailed article about lead generation. If the word count is long, like 2,000 or 3,000 words, you might use your primary keyword 5 to 7 times. But if it's a shorter article with specific questions, like how many days are enough to visit New Zealand, your keyword density will be much lower. Many SEO experts recommend 1 to 2% keyword density. However, I suggest keeping it between 0.7 and 1.5% for a better readability score. Don't overstuff your content, as this can lead to penalties. Next, we'll move on to title tags and meta descriptions. The use of H1 tag for the page is important. It should contain the primary keyword, like the example we see here. If your page is about lead generation companies in Maryland, your H1 should be something like this. H2 and H3 tags break down the content further. They should also include your keywords where possible. Now, the meta title and meta description. Your meta title should be under 60 characters, and your meta description should be between 150 and 160 characters. It should provide a clear summary and include your primary or secondary keywords. Now, let's talk about your URL structure. Your URL structure should be simple and include your primary keyword. For example, a good URL would be example.com/lead generation/company/Maryland. You see how everything that's included down here is also in the URL up above? That's exactly what we're looking for. A simple URL helps users understand the page content, and it's also better for SEO. Now, let's revisit the heading tags. You should only have one H1 tag in your entire website, which should include your primary keyword. A great example of this is if you're posting about lead generation companies Maryland. Your H1 should clearly define that, like lead generation companies in Maryland, find the best services. H2 tags are for major sections of your content, and H3 tags are for the subsections under each H2 content. Incorporate the keywords in both H2 and H3 whenever possible. We can see H2 shows us the main sections of your content. H3 includes the subsections below. Next, we'll be talking about image optimization. Whenever you're using images, make sure to add alternative text. Alternative text tells search engines what the image is about. For example, if you have an image showing a lead generation dashboard, your alternative text could be lead generation dashboard for Maryland businesses. A great example of this here is when we search the Eiffel Tower. All of this text under it is the alternative text telling Google what the image is. This helps search engines index your images and improves your SEO all at the same time. Next, we're going to talk about the use of internal linking. This is a way to connect relevant blog posts and pages within your site. It helps users navigate and boosts SEO. If you're writing a blog post on lead generation, you could link it to another article about email marketing or SEO strategies for businesses. This helps distribute link equality and improves your site's structure. Next, we're going to talk about content quality. Content quality should always be unique, informative, and engaging. Make sure to never be content from other websites and make sure you always have a unique voice. Google will penalize you for duplicated content, and it can be really tough to recover from that. Next, we're going to talk about mobile friendliness. Always check on your page's mobile devices to make sure that they are mobile friendly. You can do this by inspecting or through WordPress. Make sure that text is always readable, images are loading correctly even on mobile, and the layouts are responsive. More users than ever are browsing on their phones, so this can really have a negative impact on your business if it's not addressed. Finally, we're going to talk about page speed. Your page speed is crucial. Pages that are loading slowly contribute to a higher bounce rate, which can really hurt your rankings. Our suggestions include some of the best practices that you can follow are making sure that your page loads under 2 seconds. Tools like Google PageSpeed Insight can help test and improve your page speed. Finally, we'll move on to structured data. This is your schema markup. This helps ensure that search engines understand your content. When we are talking about this is things from review schema, local business schema, event organization, people schema, WordPress schema, and other types available. Just make sure you choose what is best for you and for your business. Now, let's discuss off-page SEO. Off-page SEO focuses on gaining external signs to improve rankings. Here are the strategies for off-page SEO. To begin, let's start with backlinks. Backlinks are one of the most powerful off-page SEO factors. There are various types of backlinks. They include profile backlinks. This is used to create business profiles on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and your website. An example of this is if you have a roofing business and you create a Facebook profile for your business and include your website link. Then there's directory backlinks. This is where you can submit your website to local business directories like Yelp or Yellow Pages. Image backlinks are when you upload an image on a platform like Facebook or Instagram and make sure to include a link to your website. Social backlinks are when you share your content or company updates on social platforms like Twitter or LinkedIn with a link to your website. Forum backlinks are when participants in relevant forums are answering questions and providing helpful links to your website. Comment backlinks add insightful insights onto other blogs and videos with a link to your content if it's relevant. And then finally, classified backlinks. This is when you list your website on businesses like expatriates. It helps increase your visibility and backlinks. Now let's move on to guest blogging. Guest blogging is when you write a piece for another website in exchange for a backlink. Look for blogs that are relevant to your industry and pitch valuable content. If you're in the lead generation niche, consider finding a blog about marketing automation or sales and offer them a guest post in exchange for a link back to your website. Next, let's move on to press releases. Consider creating press releases whenever you launch a new product, feature, or discount, and then submit these to media outlets. This gives you exposure and backlinks from other authoritative websites. Next, let's talk about social media engagement. Engaging with users on social media platform. Next, let's talk about social media engagement. Engaging with users on social media platforms, commenting on posts, sharing content, and promoting your business is all essential. These interactions can lead to backlink opportunities and increase your brand visibility. Next, let's talk about online reviews. We always suggest encouraging your customers to leave online reviews on platforms like Google Review, Yelp, TripAdvisor. This is how you get those directory engagement rates. Positive reviews can boost your credibility and help with SEO. Finally, local listing citations. Submitting your website to local business directories like Google My Business and Yelp are great ways to maintain consistency, but make sure that your name, address, and phone number are the same across all platforms. Let's talk about the main differences between off-page and on-page SEO. On-page SEO, you have complete control over this. You can edit your content, your keywords, your titles, your images, your URL, your structure, and more. But off-page SEO, you have limited control. It's still critical for gaining backlinks and improving your authority throughout sources, though. So that's a wrap today on our video on-page and off-page SEO. I hope this helped clear some things up. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comment below and I am happy to help.